Good evening and welcome to the Iowa City Public Library for the 4th Annual Iowa City Spelling Bee to benefit the library. The event is organized by the Friends Foundation, and there's a special committee that's headed by Nolan Naughton, who organized this year's event, and I'd like to give them all a round of applause for pulling another one off. This year we also have an event sponsor, which is Hans Jewelers, which has provided a generous contribution to help with the overhead costs for prizes and the spelling books and all of those things that usually eat into the net proceeds of an event like this. And I want to thank Bill Nusser and Hans Jewelers for their support of this event. The proceeds, which this year should amount to about $4,000, will go to the annual fund of the Friends Foundation. And this year, our goal is $100,000 to add to the acquisitions budget of the library. This is the second year that we've had that approach to the annual fund, and we surpassed our goal last year, and hopefully this event will help us meet this year's goal. There's an added suspense to this year because we have the opportunity to have a three-peat champion. We know there are those of you in here who don't want that to happen, so let's really make this a special event. It's the Bulls haven't had a three-peat for a long time, so this is someone's chance to see if that can happen. At this point, I'd like to turn the podium over to our veteran MC team, Bill Nusser, who is doing his third hosting of our Spelling Bee, and Jennifer Whitmore, who's on her second tour duty with us, and they will take over at this point and read the rules, announce the teams, and then we'll proceed.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, I'm fine. It's fun to be back here.
I feel like Bruce Auney introducing Edie Fawcett again on Channel 9, because Jennifer was not able to be with us last year, but we're glad to have her again this year.
Well, I hope I get paid as much as Edie. That'd be great, wouldn't it? It's fun to be back here. Now, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
It took me 2 years to prepare this. What is considered one of the longest words in the dictionary?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
No.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No.
Any guesses out there?
Smiles. It has a mile between the S's. Okay.
All right.
I'll turn it over to you now.
Well, I think on that note, I think we better introduce the pronouncers tonight. And we have a distinguished group of people, two of my former teachers among them. So I think I spent my time getting back at them then, so I don't have to tonight, which is good. They'll agree. We have as pronouncers, we have Jody Hovland, who is in the scarf here, and I have to plug Jody's play. She has shaved her head for the play Wit at Riverside Theater, and if you have a chance to see it, you should. And then we have as a pronouncer Kathy Moyers, who is also a thespian and has appeared on that stage also, and she is an excellent elocutor. E-L-O. No, oh, sorry.
No. I noticed that you're sponsoring the Spelling Bee this year.
Right. That's
Yes.
right.
It's one way to make sure you get to be up here. That's right.
That's cheap.
I had a whole year to work these up to get it, Bill.
I had a whole year to save the money.
I would like to introduce our judges for the evening. Jan Harvey, who is a principal at Horn Elementary. And Jan, I must say that Bill, who was in your 6th grade a few years ago, has aged far more than you have. And Marilyn Wirtz, who is a principal at Hoover Elementary. Thank you both.
And another recidivist, we have Maeve Clark, our fantastic sound effects maven.
Our timer, sitting out here in the center, is Susan Craig.
Well, do we start introducing the teams now and see who we've got this year?
Yes, if I remember correctly, it takes me quite a while to get through all the sponsors and make sure all the names are correct. So maybe we better start that. Now, I'm really excited because I think this is the year for a new winner. Sorry, guys, sorry. But I think, you know, my coming back and everything, this is going to be it. So we need to get down to some fun here, okay?
Can I point out that one of the teams is all women. It's called the Women of Words, and they are sponsored by RSM McGladrey. We'll introduce them in a second. But do you know that historically in the National Spelling Bee, more women have won the spelling bee than men? So there is a threat to the killer bees or the way cool.
Okay. I wouldn't have any argument with that at all. I would think that would be natural. Okay, let's start with team number one. Team number one, United Way Cool of Johnson County. You can see they brought their supporters. They are sponsored by Buckle Down Publishing. And the team members, and if you'll stand, we'll get to see lots of you, but we'll stand for our first look at you. Anita Casey Reed, John Ham, and Daniel Smith.
A lot of support there. Team number two are the Headliners, sponsored by the Iowa City Gazette, and they are comprised of big fan section there.
All right.
And on that team are Linda Alexander, Aaron Walter. Go ahead, Linda, stand up. Aaron Walter and Sarah Henkel.
Okay, this is going to be better than football. Okay, team three, the Kirkwood Killer Bees, sponsored by Kirkwood Community College. We have Lori Weitzel, Richard Johnson, and Aaron Wings.
Team number four are the Spell Checkers, sponsored by Brenton Bank, a Wells Fargo company, and they consist of Carolyn Lieberg. Carolyn, are you? There you are. All right. Oh, Lieberg. Oh, I always get that wrong. That's my third year. Tom Rocklin and Noelle Schuling. Got that one wrong too.
I'm glad you got that one. So then so far I'm doing
We
good
flipped
here.
for the hard ones.
Okay. Team number five, Thinkin' Lincoln, sponsored by Jack Naughton Construction, Kathy Jensen, Elaine Tarnutson, and Nancy Weber.
Team six go by WOW, or Women of Words. I've just announced them. RSM McGladrey are the sponsors. They are Carol Alexander, Lee Sternad, B.J. Wagner, and that's it? Very good. Well, that's all we need, actually.
Team 7, Funkin' Wagnalls, sponsored by McComas Lucina Construction, Nick Arp, Lesanne Fleeler, did I get it right? Oh, good, and David Holm.
Team number 8, and correct me if I'm wrong, is a new entry this year, the Heartthrobs, and they are sponsored by the University of Iowa Heart Care, and they are Karen Cowdery, Cindy Penny, and Michael Winifred, who admitted to me before the program here that he learned last night that he cannot spell. But we'll see whether that's true or not.
Team number 9, Who Let the Lawyers Out? Now, the last time I was here, I got this. I'm going to do this one time, okay? Sponsored by Phelan, Tucker, Mullen, Walker, Tucker, and Gelman. These guys feel so sure of themselves that they are going to spell with 2 team members, Dean Carrington and Mike Pugh. Oh, we have a third. We have a third. I'm sorry, Julie.
Julie Pokrabic. Pokrabic? Right.
Julie Pokrabic and Mike Pugh. Okay, then you do have 3.
And team number 10 are the Letterheads, sponsored by the Iowa City Public Library. And they are, yay, that's right, Susan Craig back there, the big fan. Bill Reese, Ginny Blair, and Liz Nichols.
And last but certainly not least, Keen Green Spelling Machine, sponsored by the County Johnson Irish, Diane Dudley, Colleen Mahoney, and Diane Strawn.
Now, this Keen Green spelling machine, I went up to them right before the program here, and I wanted to make a little fun, and they were reading the Paideia, is that how you use Paideia? Which is where the words come for this spelling contest, and it was kind of like I had to keep my distance a little bit. I was too afraid that I might get a... But they are serious, and they are a force to be reckoned with. Before we begin, is there anything else that we need to do? Do we need to?
Do you have any bad jokes?
Oh, I've got tons of them, but let's not hear them.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of the rules.
Okay. Rule number 5. Now, I don't know why we're starting out with reading you rule number 5. I assume 1 through 4 are just insignificant, but we're going to start with 5. To help ensure that each member of each team has at least one chance to spell, the first round is considered to be a complete rotation of all 3 members of the competing teams. During this first round, a team can misspell one word and remain in competition until the team misses a second word. However, if a team misspells a second word during this first round, the team is eliminated, even if team member number 3 has not spelled. I think that was clear as mud.
Yeah. Should we call on the lawyers to translate that? Rule number 6. The pronouncer will pronounce the word, give the definition of the word, use it in a sentence, and pronounce it once more. Words used in Iowa City Spells will be selected from the 2000 edition of the Paideia and from Webster's Third New International Dictionary.
What is the Paideia?
The Paideia is the book that the National Spelling Bee uses, and it's updated every year. It has, I think, 29 different categories and with different areas of difficulty, levels of difficulty. Aren't you glad you asked?
Yes, my daughter was actually, I think, giving me words from that. I could only get the easy. We didn't go to the advanced or anything, so now I know what that is. Thank you. Rule 7. Team members may collaborate on the spelling of the word, but the designated speller must begin spelling within 20 seconds and completely spell the word in 60 seconds.
All right, and the last rule we get to read is rule number 8. Team members may ask for one additional pronunciation of the word, but no more. Okay.
Okay.
Are we ready for round 1? So round 1, everybody on the team gets a chance to spell, and so we will start out with,
We forgot something.
what did we forget?
The audience participation.
Oh, that's right. We have audience participation words for you. Catherine Moyers will be giving those out to you, and we will stop periodically for that.
And there's a prize for that, too.
very
So
good.
if you did not get your audience participation slip, make sure you have that so you can spell.
And for the people watching out on television here, we're crowded here with people that have all sorts of signs that they're holding up, and we're hoping that we can have a civil, well, I guess we're not really hoping that, but we're hoping we can have a good time. And I want to remind everybody that there are cookies and drinks provided by Hy-Vee, and you're welcome to get them at any time.
Yes, and
So-
too bad for those of you who didn't come down to the spelling bee because you don't get the
They're
cookies.
good cookies.
Okay. So, shall we get started? Shall we let the fun begin? Are you guys ready? Nervous? I'm glad it's not me spelling. I'm glad it's you. Okay. Are you ready?
Team 1.
We ready? Team 1. United Way Cool of Johnson County. Anita, John, and Daniel.
Well, this one seems like a good place to begin. Tournament, a trial of skill in which many contestants compete for championship in a series of elimination contests. Laszlo won first place in the state chess tournament. Tournament.
You'll have to tell us who goes first.
Anyone can.
Oh, anyone can. I misunderstood. All right. I guess I'll
Daniel.
go. Tournament. Tournament. Tournament.
Very good. Judges? Yes? Okay, good.
Thank you. Now we have Team 2.
Team 2, the headliners, sponsored by the Iowa City Gazette. And it's Linda and Aaron and Sarah.
The word is foray, a raid or brief invasion. Captain McMaster led his troops on a foray into the village. Foray.
Foray, F-O-R-A-Y, foray.
Correct. All right, very good. Team 3.
Kirkwood Killer Bees. Jump right up here, or fly right up here.
Siege, the operations of an army around a fortified place for the purpose of compelling its surrender by assault or blockade. The defenders were confident they could outlast the siege, since the castle had an underground source of fresh water. Siege.
Oh, yeah? Hate that. Siege, S-I-E-G-E, siege.
Correct?
Thank you.
All right, we're ready for the spell checkers, sponsored by Brenton Bank as Carol, Tom, and Noel. Carolyn.
Carolyn, you have really
Well, siege
messed
is
up
like
her name.
Lieberg, and yeah, I'm having trouble with those.
The word is covenant, an agreement that is usually formal, solemn, and intended as binding. The book of Genesis describes Noah's covenant with God that saved his family from the great flood. Covenant.
Covenant, C-O-V-E-N-A-N-T, covenant.
Correct?
Very good.
Are you all spelling in your heads? That's what I find myself
Now, did you
doing.
notice Tom's tie? He and I called each other before coming over here.
Oh, color coordinator, that's so nice. We are at Team 5, Thinkin' Lincoln. Kathy, Elaine, and Nancy, sponsored by Jack Naughton Construction.
And your word is aurora, the redness of the sky just before the sun rises. As the aurora began to brighten the sky, the airline passengers eagerly looked out their windows to see the rising sun. Aurora.
Aurora, A-U-R-O-R-A, Aurora.
Correct?
Very good. Now it's time for Women of Words, sponsored by RSM McGladdery, and it's Carol, Lise, and BJ.
Your word is treble, threefold. Whatever might be their motive or motives, whether single, double, or treble, their actions were unjustified. Treble.
Treble, T-R-E-B-L-E, treble.
Correct?
Terrific. Team 7, Funkin' Wagnalls, sponsored by McComas Lucina Construction. We have Nick, Bassan, and David.
The word is stentorian, extremely loud, capable of powerful utterance or sound. Herman's stentorian boombox annoyed everyone on the bus. Stentorian.
Stentorian, S-T-E-N-T-O-R-I-A-N, stentorian.
Correct.
Very good. And let's have the Heartthrobs, sponsored by U of I Heart Care. And that is Karen, Cindy, and Michael.
And the word is antennae, the paired movable sensory appendages of the head of certain arthropods. The bug stopped and wiggled both of its antennae.
Antennae, A-N-T-E-N-N-A-E, antennae.
Correct.
Very good. Check out the paired movable appendages on Maeve, our sound woman.
I think Kathy Moyers is getting a little antsy back here, and she wants to give out an audience participation word. So get those pencils ready.
I don't know what the exact rules on this are, Larry, but
Very
you
loose.
write them down and you turn them in and you get a prize afterward if you get
Does
them all
everybody
right.
have a form to write on for the audience participation?
Okay.
Whoever's participating?
Okay.
Do you need one? You got one? Okay. No, you can't be audience.
Okay.
Okay.
There are 10 words. The first one is eponymous, bearing the name of, being, or relating to one for whom or which something is named. Jason will play the role of Julius Caesar in the Drama Club's presentation of the eponymous play.
Say it one more time.
Eponymous.
There we go. Is that like a hip eponymous?
Moving right along, forget his bad jokes. Now, the audience is definitely separated from the professional spellers, so we will now introduce our next group of professional spellers who let the lawyers out. Sponsored by Phelan, Tucker, Mullen, Walker, Tucker, and Gelman. I said I was only going to do that once. Dean, Mike, and Julie.
Very good.
The word is circumlocution. The use. I don't plan these, I really don't.
What
The
happened
u-
to trouble?
The use of an unnecessarily large number of words to express an idea. The attorney's circumlocution caused one of the jurors to doze off. Circumlocution.
Just like it sounds. What's the cution?
C-U-T-I-O-N is what I would guess. Circumlocution.
What's that?
Good, Mike?
What is it? Circumlocution. C-I-R-C-U-M-L-O-C-U-T-I-O-N.
Right.
Circumlocution.
Excellent. You know, at first I thought for lawyers that would be like us spelling house, but they have secretaries. They just say those words, right? Speaking of letters, we have the letterheads next, sponsored by the Iowa City Public Library. And they are Bill, Ginny, and Liz.
And your word is apprentice, one who learns a trade, art, or craft by practical experience under skilled workers. Jake hopes to become an apprentice in the stained glass studio. Apprentice.
Apprentice. A-P-P-R-E-N-T-I-C-E. Apprentice.
Correct.
Okay, we're at the bottom of the first round of the first round, or the bottom of the first something of the first round. But it's the King Green Spelling Machine, sponsored by County Johnson Irish, Diane, Colleen, and Diane.
Oh, you just need a little.
Scurvy, a disease characterized by spongy gums, loosening of the teeth, and a tendency to bleed into the skin and mucous membranes, and caused by a dietary deficiency of ascorbic acid. Scurvy is easily preventable by eating fruits and vegetables rich in vitamin C. Scurvy.
Could you repeat that definition again?
No.
Scurvy. S-C-U-R-V-Y. Scurvy.
Correct.
Oh, wouldn't that have been perfect for the heartthrobs? I mean, ooh.
The sound woman indicates that we are at the end of the first round of round one. And now we'll go through the teams again. A different speller has to spell this time. You got it? All right.
Okay, so you know your order. Be ready to hop up there and start spelling. And we start again with United Way Cool of Johnson County, sponsored by Buckle Down Publishing.
Our reigning winners.
Tardigrade, moving or stepping slowly. The sloth is a well-known tardigrade animal. Tardigrade.
Tardigrade. T-A-R-D-I-G-R-A-D-E. Tardigrade.
Correct.
Very good. Wow. That is impressive. Next are the headliners, sponsored by the Iowa City Gazette. Go headliners. You just lost one cameraman down here. Go ahead.
Appreciative, having or showing an expression of gratitude. The appreciative guest sent a thank you note to her host. Appreciative.
Appreciative. APPRECIATIVE. Appreciative.
Correct.
We are.
Those Kirkwood Killer Bees are up next, sponsored by Kirkwood Community College. And we are zinging along here. Buzzing along.
Falconry, the art of training falcons to pursue and to attack wild fowl or game. The king's oldest servant was a master of falconry. Falconry.
Falconry, Falconry, falconry.
Correct.
Very good. Now, here come the spell checkers with my friend Carolyn. And actually, I do know Carolyn, and that's why it's so funny. I've screwed up her name twice, but I'm not going to do it 3 times.
And the word is alliteration. The repetition, usually initially of a sound that is usually a consonant in 2 or more neighboring words or syllables. Poor writers rely on alliteration when lacking ideas.
Alliteration. ALLITERATION.
Correct.
Kathy Moyers says, it's time. So get those pencils ready.
The second audience participation word is clairsentience, perception of what is not normally perceptible. Gert attributed her uncanny ability to tell when her mother was coming home to clairsentience. Clairsentience.
So, Kathy, did you make up these words? These are in the dictionary, right? Okay. All right.
But I bet she spent a long time looking for them. Okay, everybody got that one? Thinkin' Lincoln, sponsored by Jack Naughton Company. Kathy, Elaine, and Nancy.
Cabriole, a ballet leap in which one leg is extended in midair and the other struck against it. The dancers dressed as wood sprites performed a cabriole in every measure of the music. Cabriole.
Could you repeat the pronunciation?
Say it one time, right? One more time.
Cabriole.
Cabriole, C-A-B-R-I-O-L-E.
Correct.
Very good. So let's have the Women of Words, sponsored by RSM McGladdery. Ooh, the sweater, that's right. It's just a real killer bee over here.
The word is ludicrous, meriting derisive laughter or scorn, absurd. The jury was instructed to disregard the ludicrous remarks made by the defendant. Ludicrous.
Ludicrous. Ludicrous. Ludicrous.
Correct.
Okay, Team 7. Hopping up here, the Funkin' Wagnalls, sponsored by McComas Lucina Construction.
Mirages. Optical phenomena that are often observed on still days over deserts or hot pavements that have the mirror-like appearance of a quiet lake or pool in which distant objects are seen inverted by reflection, though usually distorted. And we haven't even gotten to the sentence, which is, Janet explained that mirages are illusions which are not real. Mirages.
Mirages, M-I-R-A-G-E-S, mirages.
Correct.
Very good. How about the Heartthrobs? Sponsored by the U of I Healthcare. And we have Michael, Cindy, and Karen.
Antipasto. Any of various savory foods usually served as appetizers. An hors d'oeuvre. Herbert ordered antipasto for the table. Antipasto.
Antipasto, A-N-T-I-P-A-S-T-O, antipasto.
Correct.
Who let the lawyers out? Dean, Mike, and Julie. And hold that sign up. They'll see who sponsors you there.
They do.
Unrequited, not returned in kind. Several passages in the novel were devoted to Harriet's unrequited love for Mr. Elton. Unrequited.
Unrequited. U-N-R-E-Q-U-I-T-E-D.
Correct.
Let's have the letterheads. Sponsored by the Public Library, where we are right now. This is Bill and Ginny and Liz.
Feasible, capable of being done or executed. Because our Constitution is simple and practical, it is feasible to meet extraordinary needs by making changes without loss of essential form. Feasible.
Feasible. F-E-A-S-I-B-L-E.
Correct.
And the Keen Green Spelling Machine. County Johnson Irish.
Entomologist, one specializing in the study of insects. Dirk has wanted to be an entomologist since he was in the 3rd grade. Entomologist.
Entomologist. E-N-T-O-M-O-L-O-G-I-S-T. Entomologist.
Correct.
I would have missed that one. And we're ready for another audience participation as we have completed another round here of round 1.
Mrs.
Right?
Moyer says this one's very easy.
Number 3 is catawba, a very dark to blackish red. When Morton added a layer of indigo paint to his red Volkswagen, the resulting color could only be called catawba. Catawba.
Isn't that some kind of juice? Catawba? Well, you know, while you're spelling out there, I want to tell the people out in the viewing audience that there are people of all ages and all kinds here tonight. We have a bunch of children. We have Kiefer children. We have one Nusser child, and those Whitmer children. You must be kind of a taskmaster. I hope they're watching on TV.
They are.
Oh, good. All right, let's start the next round of round 1. This is the last round of round 1. United Way Cool of Johnson County, sponsored by Buckle Down Publishing. It's Anita, John, and Daniel.
And your word is vengeance. Infliction of punishment in return for an injury or offense. The defeated team howled with rage and fury and swore bloody vengeance.
Okay. Vengeance. V-E-N-G-E-N. No, wait. Vengeance. V-E-N-G-A-N-C-E. Vengeance?
That is incorrect. The correct spelling is V-E-N-G-E-A-N-C-E.
Now, don't feel bad, United Way Cool. That doesn't eliminate you from this at all. Go ahead and have a seat. You're still in the game. Whoa!
I didn't do that. That was the noise from the audience.
That was. and what was your noise? Well, that alone should keep us from misspelling. The Headliners, sponsored by the Iowa City Gazette, with their fan club in the back.
Gazette section over here.
That's right. Go Mom, all right.
Tentacle, one of the arms of a cephalopod. In the horror movie, the giant octopus tried to grab the heroine with a long tentacle. Tentacle.
Tentacle. Tentacle. Tentacle.
Correct.
And the Kirkwood Killer Bees, sponsored by the Kirkwood Community College, of course.
Ascertained, made sure of, discovered. In the moonlight, the form of the heretofore unknown might now be ascertained. Ascertained.
Ascertained. Ascertained. Ascertained.
Correct.
Next come, where are we? Spell checkers. I'm sorry. I lost my place. Brenton Bank, a Wells Fargo company sponsored by.
Stroganoff, sliced thin and cooked in a sauce of sour cream, onion, and condiments. Erica prepared beef stroganoff for the mayor's visit. Stroganoff.
Stroganoff. Stroganoff. Stroganoff.
Correct.
Thinking Lincoln, come on up. Sponsored by the Jack Naughton Construction Company. It's Kathy and Nancy and Elaine.
Competency, the quality or state of being functionally adequate. The prospective student questioned the competency of the professor. Competency.
Competency. COMPETENCY.
Correct.
Competency.
All right. That's the woman of the media center.
That's right, those competent ladies. Next we have Women of Words.
No, we have.
No.
No, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
We switched,
I
and
X-ing, that's
so
right.
quit Xing before we.
I got you. I'm so used to introducing them, John.
Yeah. No, Lisa has to do it.
The word is Paleozoic, of or relating to a division of geological history from the beginning of the Cambrian to the close of the Permian periods. Seed-bearing plants and amphibians first appeared in the Paleozoic era. Paleozoic.
Paleozoic. Paleozoic. Paleozoic.
Correct.
And did you happen to notice Maeve staring longingly at Lisa's sweater?
Mrs. Moyers is ready with one of her words again. Pencils ready, poised. I hope everyone at home is spelling, especially my children.
Number 4 is Macellum, an ancient Roman market or market building. Phyllis toured the Colosseum, a statuary garden, and a Macellum while on vacation in Rome.
Wouldn't you like to
Macellum.
work some of these into like your everyday conversations?
Like you buy them, sell them? All right, let's have the Funkin' Wagnalls, sponsored by McComas Lucino.
Unmitigable, not causing to make less severe, violent, cruel, intense, painful. The traffic jam caused unmitigable anger and frustration in Mr. Nelson. Unmitigable.
Unmitigable. UNMITIGABLE. Unmitigable.
Correct.
Very good.
Okay, heartthrobs. U of I Heart Care.
The word is Gordian, Intricate, complicated. No puzzle was too Gordian for Evan. Gordian.
Okay, Gordian. Gordian. Gordian.
Correct.
And he said he couldn't spell.
Who let the lawyers out?
Well, that was mine.
That was yours. Phelan, Tucker, Mullen, Walker, Tucker, and Gelman.
Right. So you get that. And Pokravic and Carrington.
Caricatured. Represented in exaggeration by means of deliberate simplification and often ludicrous distortion of parts or characteristics. Those who inaugurated the movement for women's enfranchisement were initially censured and caricatured by the press. Caricatured.
Can you pronounce it again, please?
Caricatured.
Caricatured. I'm sorry. Caricatured. Caricatured.
Correct.
So far, our judges are just kind of sitting there silently enjoying.
Big move.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we need to give them something here. So the letterheads from the Iowa City Public Library shall come and spell for them. Bill, Jenny, and Liz.
Mantilla, a light scarf, often of black lace, worn over the head and shoulders, especially by Spanish and Latin American women. Before leaving for church, Angela covered her long black hair with a lacy mantilla. Mantilla.
Mantilla. Mantilla. Mantilla.
Correct.
And finally, and I've been waiting to say this, the Keen Green Spelling Machine, sponsored by Johnson County, or County Johnson Irish. I'm very sorry. They're very serious about that.
Goodbye now.
The word is privileges. Various fundamental rights considered as peculiarly, guaranteed and secured to all persons, as the enjoyment of life and liberty and the right to pursue happiness. Patrick Henry was convinced that the colonists must fight if they wished to preserve inviolate the privileges for which they had been contending. Privileges.
And I thought I had a monopoly on the bad jokes. 20 seconds to begin.
Go.
Okay. Privileges. Privileges. No.
Start again.
Okay. Privileges. Privilela. No A.
One more time.
Privileges. Priviledes. We'll take that as our miss.
Could you spell that?
Privileges.
Could you spell that again,
One more
please?
time.
Spell again.
Okay. Privileges. Privilege.
I don't know.
Privileges. ES.
Well, it's close.
Privileges.
Okay, that's it.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Okay.
It is Privileges.
Ew, I might have put a D in there. Well, that's the end of round one. We have only 2 misspelled words out of 30, which is pretty amazing, unless, of course, you count the audience participation. And I think I read an article in the Iowa City Gazette the other day about somebody who was talking about spelling bees and how it should be it's very difficult to stand up and spell when one normally writes the words. So it's a flustering experience standing up here and doing this, and everybody's doing a great job. So let's start round 2. Now, if you misspell, I'm sorry.
Can we remind everybody that you're supposed to say the word, then spell it, and then say the word?
Right.
And even if you start over, you need to say the word and then spell the word, because this time around we will.
Very good. And-
I thought they looked really nice, but now they're getting tough.
Yeah,
you
forget
know?
it.
It's that principle thing, you
Yeah,
know.
that's
They
right.
come on nice, and then they get tough.
Notice a little can we remind everybody. So it's spell or say it, spell it, and say it. And as long as you don't say it for the last time, am I correct that you can backtrack, but you need to say it, spell it, and say it again. So now this time, if you miss a word, that's it. So the stakes are higher now.
And you know why they ask us to do this part, don't you? Because
we can't spell.
That's right. We would not have lasted through round 1. But you all have lasted through round 1, which is exciting because now the competition gets tough. Should we have an audience participation word? Mrs. Moyer says, okay, yeah, all right.
Number 5, denouement. The final outcome, result, or unraveling of the main dramatic complication in a play or other work of literature. Martha stayed up half the night to get to the denouement of the spy novel she was reading. Denouement.
Yes.
Can I ask for a clarification on a rule?
Yes.
If you're spelling the word and you're confused, can you still consult with your team members, or are you the
Yes.
only one who can
I think you can. You just have to start the word within 20 seconds, and then you need to finish it within 60. And I think what you do in the middle there is whatever you have to do. Okay. to reach the denouement.
I bet he was like this in school, wasn't he? Just jumped right in with the answers, didn't give anybody else a chance. See? The judges were supposed to give the answers there. Okay, let's go. Ready? Round 2. United Way Cool of Johnson County, sponsored by Buckle Down Publishing. Anita, John, and Daniel.
I'd just like to say that I'm a proud graduate of Ernest Horn Elementary School. Go Hornets!
One for Harvey.
Your word is rhinoceros. Any of various large, powerful, herbivorous, thick-skinned mammals that have 1 or 2 heavy upright horns on the snout. The videotape showed dramatic footage of a rhinoceros charging a photographer. Rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros. R-H-I-N-O-C-E-R-O-S. Rhinoceros.
Correct.
Of course, my question is, how much did they charge? Did he charge? The headliners, Iowa City Gazette. Ooh, big fan section back here.
Dyslexia, a disturbance of the ability to read. In Central Middle School, students with dyslexia are given special training to improve their reading, spelling, and writing. Dyslexia.
God, hope it doesn't happen to me now. No, dyslexia. I'm sorry, dyslexia. D-Y-S-L-E-X-I-A, dyslexia.
Correct.
Okay, here come those killer bees again from Kirkwood Community College.
Herculean, of heroic proportions. Jim's competitor was known for his Herculean frame and great strength. Herculean.
Herculean, H-E-R-C-U-L-E-A-N. Herculean.
Correct.
Great. Have the spell checkers.
The word is genial, marked by sympathetic cheerfulness, warmth, and friendliness. Kim's goal was to make the club members more genial and less cliquish. Genial.
Genial. G-E-N-I-A-L. Genial.
Correct.
Oh, okay, competition's getting tougher now. Thinking Lincoln.
Adagio. The definition provided is not the one most commonly associated with this word, a series of sustained and perfectly controlled dance movements displaying balance and grace. The wicked fairy performed a perfect adagio just before Sleeping Beauty appeared. Adagio.
Adagio. Adagio. Adagio.
Correct.
Women of words. Marissa McGladden.
The word is herbivorous, feeding on plants. Most insects are herbivorous and feed on virtually every part of a plant from the flower to the root. Herbivorous.
Herbivorous. Herbivorous. Herbivorous.
That's correct.
Funk and Wagnalls by McComas Lucina Construction Company.
The word is versatile. Marked by a tendency to change, fluctuating readily. Trisha's versatile temperament made it impossible to predict her reactions. Versatile.
Versatile. Versatile. Versatile.
Correct.
Very good. The heartthrobs. They should be our Valentines as we're at that season.
And the word is solder. Unite or make whole by means of a melted metallic alloy. Jennifer's science class learned how to solder wires so they could experiment with electrical circuits. Solder.
Solder. S-O-L-D-E-R. Solder.
Correct.
Who let the lawyers out? Now, my children would probably expect me to do some kind of barking, but I will refrain. I will refrain.
Allegory. A story in which people, things, and happenings have a hidden or symbolic meaning. Gale disliked the moralistic tone of the allegory. Allegory.
Allegory. A-L-L-E-G-O-R-Y. Allegory.
Correct.
Hey, the letterhead. Sponsored by the Iowa City Public Library.
Linguist. A student of or expert in languages. The famous linguist described how many tribal languages are becoming extinct. Linguist.
Linguist, L-I-N-G-U-I-S-T, linguist.
Correct.
The bottom of round 2, Keen Green Spelling Machine. County Johnson Irish.
Delirious. Affected with frenzied excitement or wild enthusiasm. The delirious fans rushed onto the field to congratulate the champions. Delirious.
Delirious. D-E-L-I-R-I-O-U-S. Delirious.
Correct.
All right, that's the end of round 2, and we'll have another audience participation, one of those easy words.
Number 6 is naupathia, seasickness. Several spells of naupathia made Jones Cruz an experience she hopes never to repeat. Naupathia.
As well as having to spell that word. Now, it seems to me that Marilyn, you are trying to spell these words, right? And Kathy, you are spelling these words. How are you doing?
I've missed some.
Okay.
Okay. So that should make you feel a little
And
better.
I'm not even trying to spell these words. I wouldn't even attempt it. I think maybe you're going to have to find harder words, Jody, because these guys are awfully good. I mean, don't you think? Everybody, big applause here. You guys are round 3. Nobody's out yet. This is great. This is great. Okay. We're going to run out of jokes. We already have. Who said that? Who said that? Okay. Are we ready? Round 3? Let's go. United Way Cool of Johnson County. Buckle Down Publishing.
Apparition. Ghost, phantom, specter. The apparition of a figure on horseback without a head haunts this enchanted region. Apparition.
Apparition. APPARITION. Apparition.
Correct.
The headliners, sponsored by the Gazette. Go Gazette. Go Gazette. The Iowa City Gazette. It's my newspaper.
Your word is portcullis. A large grating of iron bars or heavy timbers suspended by chains over the gateway of a fortified place and lowered between grooves to prevent passage. The guard quickly lowered the portcullis after the king and his knights had passed through the gate. Portcullis.
Portcullis. Portcullis. Portcullis.
Correct.
Ooh, I like that one. Now buzz on up the Kirkwood Killer Bees, sponsored by Kirkwood Community College.
Hydrological. Of or relating to the study of water on the surface of the land, in the soil and underlying rocks, and in the atmosphere. The hydrological cycle includes the evaporation of oceanic water into the atmosphere and its eventual return as precipitation. Hydrological.
Hydrological. HYDROLOGICAL. Hydrological.
Correct.
Spell checker. Sponsored by Brenton Bank.
Smorgasbord. A luncheon or supper buffet offering a variety of foods and dishes. Nita's smorgasbord included turkey and smoked salmon. Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. SMORGASBORD. Smorgasbord.
Correct.
And the Women of Words. Nope.
Thinking Lincoln.
Thinking Lincoln. I'm sorry. Skipped again. No.
You should see the looks on the people's faces up here. It's either utter terror or sheer confidence.
Your word is dilapidated. Decayed, deteriorated, injured, or fallen into partial ruin. Only birds and bats resided in the dilapidated old house. Dilapidated.
Dilapidated. D-I-L-A. Dilapidated. D-I-L-A-P-I-D-A-T-E-D. Dilapidated.
That is correct.
Now the Women of Words. Team help. That's what we like. Teamwork over there.
And the word is Wagnerian, belonging to, characteristic of, or suggestive of the operas of the German composer Richard Wagner. Star Trek Klingon opera is even more somber than Wagnerian opera. Wagnerian.
Wagnerian. W-A-G-N-E-R-I-A-N. Wagnerian.
Correct.
Funkin' Wagnalls. Mucomas Lucina. Now, I won't make any Klingon jokes if you don't, Jennifer.
Alpenglow, A reddish glow, or sometimes the entire series of light phenomenon, seen near sunset or sunrise on the summits of mountains. Jocelyn and Ruth enjoyed the rich alpenglow from the balcony of their cabin. Alpenglow.
Alpenglow. A-L-P-E-N-G-L-O. Alpenglow. What did I do? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. A-L-P-E-N-G-L-O-W. Alpenglow. Did I blow it?
Did they do it within the time frame? They did the second. They did the second.
Did he?
He said that the second.
Could have stopped, though.
So judges,
Done.
they're out? Oh. Well, how about, let's hear it for Funkin' Writers. Okay, the
The heartthrobs feel for you. I know they do. From U of I Heart Care.
Meteoroidal, of or relating to meteors in orbit around the sun. The moon's craters are the result of meteoroidal bombardment. Meteoroidal.
Okay, meteor. M-E-T-E-O-R. O. Yeah, can you pronounce it once more?
Meteoroidal.
O-I-D-A-L. Meteoroidal. Oh, I need to start it again? Oh, meteoroidal. M-E-T-E-O-R-O-I-D-A-L. Meteoroidal.
Correct.
All right. I haven't said that one yet.
But you have to announce Mrs.
Audience participation was one of those good ones.
Number 7, Lamasery, a monastery of Tibetan Buddhist monks or priest. Chang returned from the Lamasery a wiser and more introspective man. Lamasery.
It's not where llamas worship.
I thought it was someplace you went on spring break.
All right, who let the lawyers out? Phelan, Tucker, Mullen, Walker, Tucker, and Gelman. And those three.
Caldera, a crater much greater in diameter than the vent of the volcano with which it is associated. The volcano's eruption was so violent that it blew away the cone, leaving a vast caldera. Caldera.
Caldera. C-A-L-D-E-R-A. Caldera.
Correct.
All right.
The letterheads. Our Iowa City Public Library team.
Janiform, having a face on each of two sides. While in Rome, Stacy bought a replica of an ancient coin depicting a janiform figure. Janiform.
You need to repeat that.
Yes, janiform.
Janiform. J-A-N-I-F-O-R-M. Janiform.
Correct.
The Keen Green Spelling Machine. County Johnson Irish.
Cicada, any insect of the family. Cicada. cacti. Called also locust. The male cicada produces sound by vibrating miniature drum heads on the lower surface of its abdomen. Cicada.
Cicada. C-I-C-A-D-A. Cicada.
Correct.
Okay. End of round 3 with only one elimination. We're going to try and speed it up here a little bit. Let's start round 4 with United Way Cool of Johnson County.
Platypus, a small egg-laying aquatic mammal of southern and eastern Australia and Tasmania, having a fleshy bill resembling that of a duck, dense blackish-brown fur, 5-toed webbed feet, and a broad flattened tail. Cindy has asked for a pet platypus for her birthday. Platypus.
Platypus. Platypus. Platypus.
Correct.
Okay. Linda, Aaron, and Sarah, the headliners from the Iowa City Gazette.
And their huge cheering section.
Go, Mom.
The word is gracility, the quality of being pleasing in movement. David's youthful gracility was one of his chief assets as a dancer. Gracility.
They tell me this is right. Gracility. Gracility. Gracility.
That is correct.
Okay, come on up, Killer Bees.
The word is brigand, one who lives by plunder, usually as a member of a band. The captured brigand refused to say a word about his group's leader. Brigand.
Brigand. B-R-I-G-G-A-N-D. Are we going with that? Brigand.
That is incorrect. The correct spelling is B-R-I-G-A-N-D.
Oh, big hand. Big hand for the Killer Bees.
The word is gusset, a usually triangular or diamond-shaped insert placed in a seam to give ease or expansibility. Eileen sewed a gusset into the waistband of her hiking pants. Gusset.
Gusset. G-U-S-S-E-T. Gusset.
Correct.
Okay, come on up, Thinkin' Lincoln. Come on up, Lincoln. Sponsored by Jack Nocton Construction. Come on, Lincoln.
The word is manacles, something used as a restraint. Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech delineated how many lives were still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. Manacles.
Manacles. M-A-N-A-C-L-E-S. Manacles?
Correct.
Go on up. Now, Charlie, you're a Lincoln student. Do they use manacles at Lincoln? The women of words.
Astrophysicist, a specialist in the branch of astronomy dealing principally with the physical and chemical natures of the heavenly bodies and their origin and evolution. Martha plans to be an astrophysicist and work for NASA. Astrophysicist.
Astrophysicist. A-S-T-R-O-P-H-Y-S-I-C-I-S-T. Astrophysicist.
Correct.
All right. Very good. Very good. Mrs. Moyer says, poise those pencils. She's ready for a word.
Number 8, onomatopoeia. The formation of a word as cuckoo or boom by imitation of a sound made by or associated with its referent. Or 2, the use of imitative and naturally suggestive words for rhetorical effect. Sue used onomatopoeia effectively in her poem about the train. Onomatopoeia.
I think the Horn and Hoover kids should be, I hope they're not watching because they're going to be scared to death for spelling class. They're taking down notes over there, writing all
And I
these.
think they're taking names.
So let's move along to the Heartthrobs, U of I Heart Care Group.
Lilliputian, extremely small. The Lilliputian furniture and fixtures in the dollhouse astounded and delighted the museum visitors. Lilliputian.
Lilliputian, Lilliputian. Lilliputian.
Correct.
All right. Who let the lawyers out? Come on up. Phelan, Tucker, Mullen, Walker, Tucker, and Geller.
Cedilla. A mark placed under a letter to indicate a sound different from that which the unmodified character bears in certain situations. Martha did not earn a perfect score on her French paper because she forgot the cedilla in the word garçon. Cedilla. Cedilla.
Cedilla. That's a technicality.
Who let the lawyers out?
That's it too.
Okay. Cedilla. S-C. Cedilla. S-C-I-D-I-L-L-A. Cedilla.
Incorrect. It is C-E-D-I-L-L-A.
Let's give a big hand for those lawyers. Next, we have the letterheads from the Iowa City Public Library.
Nomenclature. The collective names given to or borne by places in a particular region or area. The nomenclature of Boston streets confused Ling when she first arrived. Nomenclature.
Nomenclature. Nomenclature. Nomenclature.
Correct.
And finally, the Keen Green Spelling Machine. County Johnson Irish. It's Diane, Colleen, and Diane.
Vaudevillian. A writer or performer of stage entertainments, especially popular in theaters in the early decades of the 20th century. In his days as a vaudevillian, Mr. Kramer was a comedian's sidekick. Vaudevillian.
All right. Vaudevillian. V-A-U-D-V-I-L-L-I-A-N. Vaudevillian.
That is incorrect. V-A-U-D-E-V-I-L-L-I-A-N.
Way to go, Keen Green. Well, Jennifer, we lost 3 in that round, didn't we?
3?
Yeah, 3 teams.
Okay, we're down to 7 teams.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Is that correct?
6.
Or can we add? We can't spell. I don't know if we can have
6.
6, 8, 7.
I can count.
6, 7, 8. That's why we lost 4. Oh, well, all right. Well, anyway, we'll just start right over with the next round with United Way Cool of Johnson County. Bill, Jenny, and Liz. Nope, that's wrong. Nita, John, and Daniel.
Well, yeah, them too.
Jeremiad, a protracted speech marked by deep misery. The old philosopher gave a moving Jeremiad against a culture that values knowledge above wisdom. Jeremiad.
Jeremiad. Jeremiad. Jeremiad.
Correct.
I have to say, go ahead, Gazette, Iowa City Gazette, that Jeremiah has been on this every year, and so we ought to even be able to spell that by now, because I always make that Jeremiah was a bullfrog joke.
I need one of you to sign it. Okay, so then I can look at you both.
The word is altiplano, a high plateau or plain, tableland. A cold northerly wind over the altiplano heralded the arrival of winter. Altiplano.
Yes? We know. Which one? Your way.
Altiplano. Altiplano. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Altiplano.
Correct.
That brings us to the spell checkers.
Wainscot. The lower 3 or 4 feet of an interior wall when finished differently from the remainder of the wall. Michelle chose a striped wallpaper for the wainscot in the dining room. Wainscot.
Wainscot. Wainscot. Wainscot.
Correct.
Thinkin' Lincoln, Jack Nocton Construction.
The word is onomastic. Of, relating to, or consisting of a name or names. Pape's onomastic lexicon is immeasurably useful to students of ancient Greece. Onomastic.
Would you say it again?
Onomastic.
Onomastic. Onemastic. Onomastic.
Incorrect. It is onomastic.
Oh, big hand for the Thinkin' Lincoln ladies.
Okay, Women of Words, RSM McGladdery sponsors.
Lagomorph. Any of several gnawing animals resembling the rodents. A lagomorph has well-developed incisors to help it sever plant stems and gnaw on bark. Lagomorph.
Lagomorph. Lagamorph. Lagomorph.
Incorrect. Lagomorph.
Okay, the heartthrobs are going to come up and be all ready and get their thinking caps on, but in the meantime, Mrs. Moyers, Kathy, is going to give you another audience participation word.
Number 9 is chiaroscuro. Chiaroscuro, the distribution of light and shade in a picture. Rembrandt is a master of chiaroscuro.
Spelling or just doing? Okay, heartthrobs. You ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
Splenetic, marked by morose bad temper, sullen malevolence, or spiteful peevish anger. The splenetic critic gave the musical a scathing review. Splenetic.
Splenetic. Splenetic. Splenetic.
Correct.
The letterheads. Do you suddenly feel like your own vocabulary is very limited after an evening like tonight?
On the other hand, I can tell you that I think we all are related to somebody who's splenetic, don't you?
Yeah.
Halcyon, pleasingly or idyllically peaceful. Aaron spent the halcyon afternoon in his hammock. Halcyon.
Halcyon. Halcyon. Halcyon.
Correct.
Very good. End of round 5. A few more dropped out. We are now down to 5.
Whoa. All right. It's getting tight. Competition. Get a little nervous here. United Way Cool. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Mendicant, one who begs, especially one who lives by begging. The mendicant on the street corner once had a high-paying job. Mendicant.
Mendicant. Mendicant. Mendicant.
Correct.
Okay, come on, headliners. Iowa City Gazette. Where's the Go Mom sign?
Bouillon, a broth made by slow boiling of meat and especially beef in winter. Benny learned how to make bouillon in his home economics class. Bouillon.
Bouillon. Bouillon. Bouillon.
Correct.
Spell checkers. Brenton Bank.
The word is banquette, a raised way or footbank along the inside of a parapet on which soldiers are posted to fire upon the enemy. The battle plan called for the archers to stand on the banquette and fire upon the approaching enemy. Banquette.
Banquette. Banquette. Banquette.
Correct.
All right, the heartthrob, still in there.
Ptolemaic, of or relating to Ptolemy, the geographer and astronomer. Galileo got into big trouble by challenging the Ptolemaic view of the universe. Ptolemaic.
Ptolemaic. T-A-L-L-U-M-A. I-A-C. Ptolemaic.
Incorrect. The spelling is P-T-O-L-E-M-A-I-C.
Nice job, Heartthrob.
Okay, the letterheads.
Thanatology, the description or study of the phenomena of somatic death. Thanatology is concerned with the notion of death as popularly perceived. Thanatology.
Could you say it again?
Thanatology.
Thanatology. Thanatolgy. Thanatology.
Could I ask you to repeat it, please?
Go ahead, do your best.
Thanatology. Thanatology. Thanatology.
That is incorrect. It is Thanatology.
Wow.
Okay, we're going to have the sixth round stretch here. So those of you relax for a minute, the one's still in, while Mrs. Moyers gives our last audience participation word.
Number 10 is logomachy, a dispute about or concerning words. The logomachy between the lawyers lasted 2 hours before they finally agreed on the wording to use in the contract.
Not necessarily these lawyers.
Right. Logomachy.
Okay, we are now at the
Time to pick up the audience participation sheets so that Mrs. Moyers can score them.
And Larry, Larry is picking them up.
So if you hold your hand up when yours is ready, don't be marking on the closer. If you hold your hands up, they will be picked up and Mrs. Moyers will score them. And then we're ready to start the seventh round, and we have 3 groups left.
So we need to read a rule to you, because the rules change all of a sudden here. Oh, no, it's reduced to 2, excuse me. So, pardon me? Nope, there are only 3 left. Okay, and the 3 that are left are the United Way Cool of Johnson County. Are you here? And the Headliners. And the Spell Checkers. So it's going to be a tight competition here. We're getting close to the final round, so let's get going. We'll have United Way Cool up here.
And your word is Lethean, of relating to or causing forgetfulness. Blake said that the Lethean nature of the novel was to blame for his poor grade on the literature quiz. Lethean.
Okay. Lethean. Lethian. Lethean.
That is incorrect. It is Lethean.
And the two-time winners go down. Big hands.
Now we need to read a rule, but you can stand up there and get nervous while we read it. Okay. The new rule says, not the new rule, but Rule 10 says, when the teams are reduced to 2, the elimination procedure changes. A, we are making these up.
Just for you.
Bill just wrote it. When a team misspells a word, the other team shall be given an opportunity to spell that same word. If the second team spells that word correctly, plus the next word on the pronouncer's list, that team shall be declared the winner. B, if one of the last two teams misses and the other team, after correcting the error, misspells the new word, then the misspelled new word shall be referred to the first team. If that team succeeds in correcting the error and then correctly spells the next word on the pronouncer's list, that team shall be declared the winner. I hope the judges are keeping track of this. C, if both teams misspell the word, both shall continue in the contest, and the team that first misspelled the word shall be given a new word to spell. The competition shall continue as in 10A and 10B above. Now, while you think of that, let us remind you that a lot of these teams have spent a lot of time practicing, and we do have awards to give out. So when the final team wins, we don't want you to jump up and run off. We want you to stay and congratulate them on their hard work while we give them out their awards. Okay, we ready?
We're ready, and I hope that the camera will get a glimpse of the audience participation words for those of you at home who were trying to spell these. Had good luck. Hope you had a good time. So let's get ready. Let's do round 7.
Shako, a stiff military headdress with a metal plate in front, a high crown, and a plume. Each member of the band wore a plumed shako in parades. Shako.
Shako. Chacco.
Okay.
Shako.
That is incorrect.
Ooh, all right. Get on it.
All right.
Why don't we actually have you all stay up here?
You can just stay up there.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
That would be fine.
You can even.
Shako. Shako. Shako.
That is correct.
Ooh. All right, now stay up here.
All right, now the spell checkers. This one is the big one here.
Tympanum, a thin, tense membrane covering an organ of hearing. The tympanum, which is sometimes hidden beneath the base of an insect's wing cover, is activated by the pressure of sound waves. Tympanum.
Tympanum. Tympanum. Tympanum.
That is incorrect. It is T-Y-M.
Oh, stay up there, spell checkers. Now the headliners get to try and spell that word.
I'm fired, right? I'm fired.
No. That's, just go on. I mispronounced Carolyn's name, so I'm still here, so you're not fired. So why don't we,
I'm sorry.
how do we do this, judges? What do you recommend?
Just suggest that they both misspelled it and start over.
Start over? Is that quite all right?
Okay.
All right,
All right.
good. Agreeable. All right.
Spell checkers. Here we go. Next. I'm sorry. No, headliners are next. Headliners.
Stick around.
Yeah.
Just
don't
trying
go
to
far.
increase the dramatic tension. The word is spinnaker, a large triangular sail set on a long light pole and used when running before the wind. The spinnaker on Diane's boat is cardinal red. Spinnaker.
All right, spinnaker. S-P-I-N-N-A-K-E-R. Spinnaker.
That's correct.
Okay, and it continues. Spell checkers.
The word is Saskatchewan, of or from the province of Saskatchewan, Canada. Among the Saskatchewan flora is the Saskatoon, a sweet purple berry. Saskatchewan.
Time to start.
Saskatchewan. S-A-S-K-C-H. Ooh. Saskatchewan.
You have to complete within 60 seconds.
10 seconds.
Saskatchewan. S-A-S-K-A-T-C-H-E-W-E-A-N. Saskatchewan.
That is incorrect.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, headliner.
Headliners, it's your turn.
One more time.
20 seconds to start.
Saskatchewan. S, capital, Saskatchewan. Capital S, A, S, K, A, T, C, H, U, A, N. Saskatchewan.
That is incorrect.
Okay, here we go again. Spell checkers.
Do you want the correct spelling on that one?
Oh, sure.
S-A-S-K-A-T-C-H-E-W-A-N.
This is spell checkers again. Sponsored by Brent and Bang.
Atrament, a very dark substance usually used of liquids. The puff of atrament hid the octopus from a nearby predator. Atrament.
Atrament, A-T-R-I-M-E-N-T, atrament.
Incorrect.
Headliners.
Give it a shot.
We really really appreciate you dragging out the suspense. I play pool like this. Could you pronounce it one more time?
Attriment.
Okay.
With an I? You're going to have to go with it. Attriment. A-T-T-R-I-M-E-N-T. Attriment.
Incorrect. The correct spelling is A-T-R-A-M-E-N-T.
It's deep sea divers, I guess.
We're back with the spell checkers.
Quirt, a riding whip with a short handle and a rawhide lash. Eager to get home, Juanita urged her horse on by using the quirt. Quirt.
Quirt. Q-U-I-R-T. Quirt.
Correct.
Is that right? Do we have another word?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
it's their
correct.
turn.
Oh, yeah, until they miss a word, then we get
No,
a
because
word.
we're not repeating one of your missed ones.
Oh, God, is it me again? Glad somebody's keeping us straight. Go ahead.
Yeomanry, the whole body of small farmers who cultivate their own land, specifically the body of small landed proprietors of the middle class. The yeomanry were precisely the order of people with whom Emma could not identify. Yeomanry.
Yeomanry, Y-E-O-M-A-N-A-R-Y. Sorry, let me back up. Delete. Yeomanry, Y-E-O-M-A-N-R-Y. Yeomanry.
Correct.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, it's the spell checkers again.
Cicerone, one who acts as a guide to or shows the sights to. At the end of the tour, Maria praised her Cicerone as being very knowledgeable and articulate. Cicerone.
Cicerone. C-I-C-E-R-O-N-E. Cicerone.
Correct.
This is round something. 13, 14, 15, something.
The word is eclogue, a poem in which shepherds are introduced conversing. The bucolic view of meadows and hills inspired Shelley to compose an eclogue. Eclogue.
Can you say it one more time?
Eclogue.
Okay.
Okay.
Eclogue. E-C-O-L-O-G-U-E. Eclogue.
Incorrect.
All right.
Okay,
Spell
spec
checkers.
checkers.
Spell check that
Here's
word.
your turn to take over.
With an O? Eclogue. E-C-H-L-O-G-U-E. Eclogue.
Incorrect. It is E-C-L-O-G-U-E.
Okay, headliners.
The word is Icarian, inadequate for or incapable of bringing about an ambitious project. William's problem-solving methods are usually Icarian, but this time his approach provided the perfect solution, Icarian.
Icarian. I-C-A-R-I-A-N. Icarian.
Correct.
Okay, very good. Spell checkers.
The word is catalepsy, a condition of suspended animation and loss of voluntary motion associated with hysteria and schizophrenia. Doctors were confounded by Juan's catalepsy. Catalepsy.
Catalepsy. C-A-T-A-L-E-P-S-Y. Catalepsy.
Correct.
Attention mouse. We all become cataleptic.
The word is clister, a soft wax used on skis, especially for corn snow or crust. Wary of the spring skiing conditions, Maria applied some clister to her skis. Clister.
Clister. K-L-I-S-T-E-R. Clister.
Correct.
I have to say, even Jennifer got that one. I didn't.
The word is petrolage, the treatment of stagnant water with mineral oil so as to exterminate mosquitoes. The health department was advised to use petrolage every spring to eliminate the mosquitoes. Petrolage.
Petrolage. P-E-T-R-O-L-A-G-E. Petrolage.
Correct. Roundelay, a folk or ritual group or couple dance in which participants form a ring and move in a prescribed direction. The roundelay dates back to prehistoric times when people danced around a central totem. Roundelay.
Yep. Rondelay. R-O-N-D-E-L-E-T. Rondelay.
Incorrect.
Ooh. Okay.
Roundelay, isn't that what we do up here?
Rondelay. R-O-U-N-D-E-L-A-Y. Rondelay.
Correct.
Oh, now you stay there. Here's your big chance.
The word is Stygian, characteristic of death. A black robe, a papier-mâché sickle, and some grayish makeup completed Sean's Stygian Halloween costume. Stygian.
Stygian. S-T-Y-G-I-A-N. Stygian.
That is correct.
And we have a new Iowa City Spelling Bee champion team. Spell Checker, sponsored by Brenton Bank, a Wells Fargo company. Congratulations. First, before we present all those other awards, Kathy Moyers would like to present the Audience Participation Award.
We have a person who spelled 8 of the 10 words correctly. That's really an event, you know, because those were hard words. Wayne Patton, a $25 gift certificate to Prairie Lights. Congratulations.
That is incredible. You need to participate in this next year.
2 years of high school Latin.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Third place were the United Way Cool of Johnson County.
United Way Cool.
Very good. And second place, the last word was their Stygian, are the headliners, sponsored by the Iowa City Gazette, Linda Alexander, Aaron Walter, and Sarah Hankel. And first place, of course, are the Spell Checkers, sponsored by Brenton Bank, a Wells Fargo company, and it's Carolyn Lieberg, Tom Rockland, and Noelle Schulling. There you go. Well, on behalf of everybody.
A little more formal on it there, so you could- champions could be on the top here.
That's right.
Well, Jennifer, it was an exciting evening. We saw the upset of the two-time winners, and we saw some new headliners up here, as well as people spell checking well, too. And I have to say, it's been a stimulating and thrilling evening, and we want to thank all of you for coming out for this. We want to thank Hy-Vee for giving the drinks and the excellent cookies, and there are still cookies over here, I think. And we want to thank our judges and our pronouncers, who are excellent, our sound maven, and Larry Eckholt also, and as well as Nola Nocton, who looks like she's disappeared, for organizing this. It's been a fabulous 2001 Spelling Bee, and we hope to see you next year. Pardon me?
How much money did the library make?
About $4,000.
About $4,000, and that's wonderful. Thank you all so much. I bet we'll see United Way Cool of Johnson County back next year, trying again, and I'm going to go home and use my other spell checker for my spelling corrections. Thanks so much for coming. Bye now.
I would also like to say thanks one more time to Bill Nusser and Hans Jewelers for sponsoring tonight's event. Thanks.